Hey everyone, I'm Shannon with Maple Cottage Designs, and today we're going to do a tutorial on how to piece quilt batting together. I have two ways to show you. The first way you may know about, but the second way you may not know about. So we're going to go over it together, and then at the end of the segment I'm going to do a use it or lose it on a quilting notion. So you're going to find out whether I'm going to keep it and use it, or am I going to lose it as in put it in a drawer, forget I own it, and lose it that way. So come join me. All right, for the first part, we are going to learn how to even out our edges on our batting. So here I have, for instance, two pieces of batting, and these can be left over, you know, from a previous quilt or a project that you worked on. And to get a nice clean edge, because we want to butt those two pieces together to get a nice clean edge, what we're going to do is overlap them a little in the center. You can see here, you can see I've just overlapped them a little. We'll make sure everything's smoothed out. And then we're going to take a ruler. You don't have to use a ruler, but we're going to try and get a straight line through here. And then we're just going to cut a nice clean line. It doesn't have to be exact. We just keep moving our ruler up through there to get our nice clean line. So then we take away that excess there. And then we're going to pull away the excess that's underneath. And then we have a nice clean line that is going to actually, those two pieces will butt up nicely together. And then we're going to do a zigzag stitch over top of those. All right, we are over at the sewing machine. And the first thing I want to tell you guys is I had to go ahead and change my needle plate to the wide open hole needle plate. I normally keep the single hole straight stitch needle plate in just because of quilting. I find it's easier. I don't lose those little edges down in the holes. But because I'm doing a zigzag stitch, I had to change it over. And for my machine, I have to take out those two little screws, pop the new one in, put the screws back in. And I also had to change out my 1/4 inch foot. I normally keep that in. So I had to change it out to my regular general purpose foot. Okay, so we've got that done. And now we're going to take our two batting pieces. I want you to change your stitch design to zigzag. You're going to increase the width to at least 5. If you want to go wider, that's fine. And you're going to do a stitch length of 2.5 to 3.0 millimeter. Okay. The whole idea is we're going to keep that center right in the middle. Okay. Because we want the needle, as it's doing the zigzag, to sew the left batting and then come over and catch the right batting. So it's going to zigzag right over top of that seam we'll have. So, and we don't need to worry about back stitching. You can if you want, but we don't need to. So we're just gonna, and we just let the machine, the feed dogs are just going to feed it through. Okay, we're just kind of steering. We're not going to push or pull or anything. And if you get a little gap or something, that's okay, because nobody's going to see it. So we're just guiding it through. And if you want to wear your quilting gloves, you can for that. This is pretty lightweight. I'm doing 2 small pieces. I have these size pieces left over sometimes, and this is actually a great size to do to save for doing pillows. And we're just going to cut our threads. So, as you can see, I used a white thread. It might be hard for you guys to see, but I used a white thread because I want to match my batting. So if I'm using a natural colored batting, I'm going to use probably cream, just so that it matches and it blends in better. So there we have our seam. You can see, look at that. So it's all stitched together. So that's our easy way to do it. Now I'm going to show you the second way to do it. All right, now for our second method. This is batting tape. Do you see that? So this, when I ordered it, I was like, I never heard of batting tape. I'm going to try this out, see if I like it. This is actually featherweight fusible interfacing. I grew up sewing and making my own clothes. This is exactly what we used for lining our garments and stuff, for doing facings and everything. So I'm going to show you how to use it if you've never used it, if you don't know what it is. the first thing you're going to do is, of course, you're going to cut a nice clean edge on your batting pieces. I'm showing you on smaller pieces so that we have a clean edge that's going to butt up together, just like we did before. All right, so we've got our pieces there. Now the directions, you're going to cut the length that you need. So this is just approximate. And the directions say to spritz the area with water. So we've got a water bottle. This isn't starch, it's water. Just going to spritz it with some water. We put the batting tape over top of it. You're going to put the glue side. There's a rough side. That's the glue side. You put that down. The smooth side's up. And then we're going to put our our iron on. And if this is a dry heat, we're going to leave it for about 8 to 10 seconds. And then we'll move to the next section and let it adhere, because it's going to take that, the water is going to mix with the glue and it's going to make it stick together. Now I've got a wool pressing mat under here. I'm just doing a small section to show you guys for an example. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh no, you've got an impression of your iron on the cutting, on the cotton batting. That's okay, because cotton batting is going to refluff. It's all right. You won't even see that. Give it just a few minutes. It'll refluff back up. So, and we're going to let this cool too, so that our tape is now going to hold those two seams together. And you will be surprised, it's actually strong because I tested it out. So now for our segment, batting tape. Am I going to use it or am I going to lose it, as in put it in the back of my drawer, forget I have it, and not use it? What do you guys think? I am actually going to use it. And there's two reasons why, and I'll tell you. First reason is that with batting tape, I do not have to change that single hole needle plate that I keep in my machine to a wide hole so that I can do a zigzag stitch. You guys didn't see this because I was doing it off camera. It actually took me 2 tries to get my needle plate in right. So, you know, sometimes it goes in perfectly, sometimes not. But so that way I don't have to take the time to change it out. I can just go to the ironing board, put this down, iron my 2 pieces of batting down, it's done. Reason number 2 is that when I'm sewing, doing the zigzag stitch, I will sometimes get ripples in my batting when I'm trying to do like 2 larger pieces, especially if I'm doing a long length and 2 large pieces, trying to feed it through. One piece just invariably does not want to feed through even with the other piece, so I wind up with a little ripple on one side. And you can take it over to the ironing board and you can iron it and smooth everything out. But if I'm going to go to the ironing board anyway because of that, why not just skip the hassle and just use the batting tape? So this is actually something I'm going to use. Now I got 2 rolls of this and you can see there is a lot on here. I think there's like 30 yards and you get 2 rolls, so 60 yards, and it was only $10. So I was really surprised that I thought, when I first bought it, I did not think this was going to be something that I was going to keep, because I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh, this is a hassle to have to iron this. But then once I was reminded about changing out my needle plate, I thought, you know what, I'm going to use it. So it is a use it, it's a plus. So let me know in the comments below, have you used batting tape, or is there another way that you attach batting together? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And also be sure to like and subscribe. So until next time, have a great day.